Boy, I'm playing What Remains of Edith Finch, and I should have actually started live streaming right before. I turned the page, I didn't realize, what
Someone
was
had put
going
up a
on.
chain link fence, but it looked like I wasn't the first person to hop it.
Can we hop it? We can't jump. We can zoom in. Okay.
My brother Milton disappeared when I was 4. It was like the house just swallowed him up.
It looks like a person, like the head is up there. Maybe it's like an antenna, like a living robot. That's crazy.
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
What's this? A mailbox? Is this what the house looks like? Yeah, it does.
Bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately.
Wow.
I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
Okay, what happens if you can't fall? Oh.
In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
The Finches. I don't know, should I go up or down? Let's go up first. I don't think it matters. I think they each go to the house. I just think this is like the driveway, you know? What the hell?
No one had driven this way in a long time.
Yeah, you
but
see
I saw
it
a
is a
few
driveway.
footprints.
Hoofprints. Where? Oh, probably. This game is actually pretty detailed. Wow, deer, what stag? No, we can't jump, so...
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
Yeah, you see, it didn't matter.
The woods around the house have always been uncomfortably silent. As if they're about to say something, but never do.
Yeah, you see, this is... Is that a river? Oh, it was a river. Oh, it is a river? Oh, yeah, it is. And then this is just another pathway to the same place. So this is one like a lookout point. Not really. This reminds me of a game, kind of the Life of Stanley something that's on Steam. Yeah, I know. It's because I had a laptop. Now I have a console. Don't judge me. Okay. You're not gonna say anything about the waterfall? Or anything here? Or why is it so creepy here? Because it's really dark. But yeah, it was like, well, that game was actually decision based. Like, there was like, there's a narrator, and he basically narrates everything you do, everything. Oh, I guess you can't. Oh, there's a missing poster up there. Oh, it's the brother. But yeah, like, you know, he'll tell you, like, Stanley was a man who da-da-da this, who da-da-da that, and da-da-da da-da-da. Like, you know, and then you're so... At first, when you first play the game, you're like, oh, okay, you know. Because I had downloaded the hacked version, so, like, I didn't need Steam to play it. I know that's totally illegal, but, you know, that was back then. It wasn't working, and I didn't give a shit. Anyways, now I do because I can afford it. So buy your stuff. Anyways, yeah. So then I figured the second time, what if, you know, because the narrator would be like, in the beginning of the game, right? He'd be like, Stanley went through the left door, and at that point I was like,
the house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it. Yeah, we played it. So, what the fuck is that? Is that a fake dragon? Paper dragon? What the fuck? I asked Edie once about the dragon in the pond. She said it had killed her husband.
It killed her husband?
It seemed like an odd joke to me, even then.
Yeah, that is kind of a weird joke. Is that your car, girl? Cause damn, you got a nice car. You know, all you have to do is remove the wood. Just keep the bed like that, or if you can find it, the truck, the end of it. Just fix up that motor. Wait, what? Oh, there's some menu. What is that? Edith, Milton, Lewis. Hey, what's up, P-Funk? Hello. Hello. Hey, what's good, P-Funk? I'm recording right now, bro. I'm playing this game.
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable.
You remember the one I told you that was for free, the Edith Finch one? So far, it's okay. It's interesting. I was just talking about on my live stream. There's this game that I played a long time ago for Steam that came out on Steam called the Life of Stanley something.
I knew
where
exactly
it's a decision-based game.
were. I was afraid of the house.
Yeah, like it'll tell you like I was just talking about the fact like I figured out that it was a decision-based game because of there's a narrator, okay? So he'll tell you like Stanley was a man who worked in his hours every day, this and that, and then he's basically narrating your actions, right? So it's like Stanley walked through the door, and while he was making a left on the corridor, he was thinking about the cup of coffee that he left behind in his desk. Stuff like that, right? So there's a part of the corridor, that stops at a little like waiting area, like a little lobby, and then the narrator's like Stanley walked through the left door. So then, you know, the first time playing it, I was like, oh shit, fuck it, like, okay, I'll go through the left. But then when you beat the game easy when you fought, like, quickly, like, because there's different outcomes, and then one of the fastest outcomes is just listening to the narrator, right? But then I noticed, like, you know, what if I went through the right door? So then when I replayed it again, the narrator was like, God, it seems like you can't seem to follow rules. We're gonna try this again. Stanley walked through the left door. And I kept walking right. And eventually the narrator gets so mad that eventually he just leaves. Like that's the ending. Like he leaves and then that's it. You just walk around in a white room. That's one of the endings. And then from there, like I was like, oh okay, you know, there's it's decisions, like decision based. So I was like, oh okay, you know, if that's the case, like, you know, what if this game's the same way too, like. The game, no. Okay, so there's different endings to this game. The game that I'm talking about. Alright? Whatever you do, if you follow it, because there's a narrator, bro. He's gonna like he'll tell you everything that's going on and whatever. And like I said, one of the endings is where he gets mad at you because you're not listening to him. So he leaves. He leaves the story, you get me? Like he gets so mad he leaves the story and he's like, you know, that's it, I'm done. There's no story if I don't narrate it. And then that's how it ends, like that's it. And then the game is, you know, it takes you back to the main menu. Because you can't, the thing about this game, it doesn't really have a save point. Because while you're in the middle of it, like since each walkthrough of the game is 15-20 minutes, you know, to figure it out. You gave me like each scene to each ending is like 15 minutes, right, where you play it out. But like I said, it's all based on decisions, so there's like lots of different endings, you know? So like, you know, there's an ending where it ends in a similar fashion, except the narrator, he tells you like, you know, don't run to the end of the corridor. But you go to the end of the corridor and he's like, I suggest you turn around now. And you keep walking, right? And he's like, please, I'm begging you, do not go straight. Please turn around. I'm begging you. And you just keep walking, right? And then he's like, oh God. And then eventually you fall and you die. And he's like, Stanley was a very knuckleheaded man. He didn't seem to listen to a lot of people. Maybe that's why his wife left him. Maybe that's why he got stuck in a desk job for the rest of his life. That's the ending, bro. I swear to God.
I hope the key might unlock the front door.
You know, and then to get that ending, it's like maybe like 10 minutes. Because you still listen to the narrator, except you just don't go through you go through the corridor instead of just keep going where he tells you. Not the first one like I told you about. I'm talking about like, you know, you follow everything so you get to the end area of the first ending where you listen, you know, where you listen to the narrator, right? There's a little area where it's like a screen where it tells you like it's kind of like the Matrix where like, you know, Stanley finds out that he has choices. And you know that ending, there's a little corridor before that room, and if you go in through that corridor and keep going straight, you die. And there's other ones he falls through like a thing on the ground, like a hole, and into spikes because he didn't listen. No, the one that I'm telling you about, that's just how many different endings it has. I think there's over like 200 endings, and I only did like 50 of them.
For the first time in years.
Until no. I know what you're talking
I
about.
felt like I was home.
Oh, what? Yeah. I was gonna say The Last of Us. No, yeah.
But instead of a family,
What time is it, bro? 8:03. I'm gonna go to the store. I'm gonna start broadcasting like. Well, actually, no. I'm gonna start broadcasting now because I want to play Red Dead.